Today we're taking this pretty much stock Wrangler up the T33A plane crash here in Colorado. It's a moderately difficult trail. We're definitely going to do some underside hitting. We're definitely going to show you the differences between a stock height Wrangler and a lifted built Wrangler. The Wrangler JK is so capable stock out of the box, it'll do the majority of what you want it to do. But on something like this challenging trail, you're going to be scraping, and that always leads to the potential of trail damage. On the road, the Jeep is going to be better without a lift. It's just less top heavy, less roly-poly, and same thing can be said out here if you're going up some big cambered hills or something. But for the most part, you want the most ground clearance, the most grip, the most tire patch, and with a big lift, you can put a big tire on. We've got this maybe 2.5 foot ledge right here. You can see the tire is all the way at the bottom. And take a look at the rock rail or the rock slider. We're almost touching there.
Tommy, we're here at Devin's Car Care at like way too early o'clock on a Sunday. Why are we here?
Because we're finally lifting our TFL Jeep Wrangler.
A lot of parts that are going to go on the Jeep.
Yeah, I think we need a bigger table.
Yeah.
So these are the Firestone Destination MT2 mud terrain tires, and of course these are a 35-inch tire, which means they're not going to fit on the stock suspension Wrangler. So we've got a TerraFlex 3.5-inch Alpine lift in order to fit these bad boys, and a set of new rugged ridge wheels. Devin, talk to me a little bit about this install. This is the Alpine CT3 3.5-inch lift kit. What's going to be the hardest part?
It's not really difficult. It's mainly bolt-on and such, but just adjusting the control arm length. And, the speed bumps are a little bit involved. You have to cut the front shock tower out and mount those up there.
Now, what about drive shaft angles? Is that a problem when you're going above 3 inches like we are?
Well, it's not ideal, but you know, these aren't standard U-joint drive shafts. They're the, I can never remember the name, but they're kind of like a CV axle.
Okay.
Raposa joint or something like that. So they tolerate angles better, but eventually that's gonna
be a problem.
Yeah, especially with the two-door.
Wow, look at that.
Bye-bye coil springs.
So guys, check out the design difference between the stock unit and the TerraFlex Alpine swing arm. It's much beefier in the TerraFlex unit than it is in the FCA off-the-shelf model. First arm going in. Now the biggest difference in equipment that we're putting on the Jeep has to be the shocks. Here's the stock one. Here is the Falcon fully adjustable shock. Look at that difference. So there's a little bit of drilling required for the base of the shock mount.
Yeah, they put a new bar pin, actually mounts the shock further out here. This basically goes in place of that, the spacer. The new shock mounts out here.
Oh really? So we're not actually putting the shock at all within this little channel?
No, it mounts out here. I think it's to get it closer to the wheel for better protections.
Oh, there's a sleeve and everything. Look at that.
Fancy schmancy.
So guys, check this out. In just under 2 hours, our master mechanic, Devin, has tied up our rear end and it looks great. So let's talk about what we did. We went and did our Falcon chocks. This is the relocator right for the rear sway bar.
Correct, yep.
So we've got our new short arm kit here, and we also have new springs all put in. Now you were saying typically this job takes about 6 to 8 hours according to TerraFlex, correct? If you've never done it before?
Yeah, that's what they suggest if I remember correctly.
Let me show you how these Falcon Series 3 fast adjust knob works. So we've got really 3 modes. The first is going to be your softest mode for on-road and slow off-road. Number 3, that's for sport on-road and increased bottoming out resistance. Now the second setting is fully adjustable 8 ways from soft to firm. So Devin, essentially these speed bumps replace the bump stops, is that correct?
Correct.
And does that provide just more cushioning than like a standard foam bump stop?
Yeah, so it's a cross between a regular, foam bump stop and a nitrogen charged air bump.
But this is probably a little bit more difficult of an install because you can see that Devin had to go through and actually cut the old mounting tube.
I've been poking around here at Devin's car care, and look what I found. I think you need to put this on your Jeep, dude. It passes the fist test. Look at that, you can get like your whole arm in there. Whoa. Tommy, here's the problem. Is that it just doesn't go in.
So this may seem a little confusing, guys, but Devin's actually working on the exhaust right now. What's the scoop there?
Well, we have to put these spacers in the exhaust pipe to move it down to gain clearance for the front drive shaft.
These are the little exhaust extender sleeves that Devin will be using to move the exhaust for clearance. So we've come across a problem, huh?
Yeah, packaged without the pinch bolts there.
That's no good.
So we're off to McGuckin's, our trusty local hardware store, to go just buy. We have to buy 2 more because we want to get this done today.
Oh, look what I got, Tommy.
It's a big bag of bolts.
Are they the same size?
Well, they're the same length and diameter. However, the top is slightly wider on these, so we're gonna try them out. Hopefully they fit. Like the gap seemed like it was big enough, but we don't actually know since we couldn't measure it since we didn't bring the part with us.
So in pretty typical TFL fashion, we of course got the wrong bolts. The heads are the right size, but we got metric and we need a 3/8.
Tommy, it would have been way too convenient to only have to do 1 trip, so
Yep.
we just had to make it a 2-trip affair.
Back on the second trip.
Yeah. These are our new bolts, Tommy.
On round 2.
Round 2. We finally got them.
All right, Michael, second time around. Let's see if that's the charm. Yeah, looks like it's gonna work. Shiny part installation time.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Look at that, Michael.
Look at that reservoir. Gets me going, Tommy. Okay, Tommy. Step 1, take the wheel out of the box. Easy step.
I'm gonna take the wheel condom off.
Oh, wow. Okay, sensor. We got the sensor. There it is. Good, congratulations.
Now we gotta lube it up, right?
Yeah, we gotta lube it up. We gotta find the hole. Then you spray it with a little soap. Oh, I missed. Okay, then you have to take off the cap, thread the thing through the hole, and then have a friend hold it really tight while you pull.
Final shot going in. So our man Devin just finished the lift install, both front and rear. Now it's time to do tires. First at this.
Okay, there we go.
So these wheels may not be steel, but they sure match the Jeep and look awesome. Hopefully they perform well off-road as well.
Of course, steel wheels are maybe the ideal choice for off-roading, but these do have a nice little design feature where the valve is actually sort of flush with the side and it's not sticking out. So if you hit some rocks or something like that, you're not going to snap the valve off.
Well, it looks awesome. Really has a nice stance to it. I think we've got not liftoff, but landing. All right, first drive in the lifted Wrangler, Michael. Oh, it feels really tall.
It does feel really tall.
We're king of the world, Tommy.
It looks awesome. And you know what, Tommy? I bet it's going to be great off-road.
It's not awful. All you guys saying it wouldn't work with 373.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
This is going to be so fun off-road.
Oh man, I'm excited, Tommy.
Man, Devin really worked his magic on this one.
Yeah, he did a great job.
We're back out here high in the Colorado Rockies with our 2016 Jeep Wrangler JK, this time lifted 3 inches with 35-inch tires, rugged ridge wheels, and a gnarly off-road trail, the same one we did in fact before. Let's see how a stock Jeep compares to a modified one with a big lift and some big tires. Now we're going to do our best to emulate the same off-road conditions that we tested this Jeep with when it was pretty much completely stock. Now I'm going to go ahead and adjust those TerraFlex Falcon 3 shocks from sport to the soft rock crawling mode. We're going to air down these Firestone Destination MT2 tires just a little bit, just like we had done with the old mud terrain BFGs, and we're going to go hit some rocks. First off-road test in the Wranglers, and I gotta tell you, for a first off-road test, the T33A plane crash is a pretty challenging trail, so hopefully we'll be able to conquer it easier than we did last time. When you do a lift on a Jeep, typically you're gonna end up raising the belly of the Jeep, but not the pumpkins. That's where these big tires come into play. Still some slippage there. Of course, still no locker. How about this big rock? Oh, we scraped here last time. But not this time, baby, yeah! In terms of gearing, I was really worried that these 373s in this sport wouldn't be enough to haul around these 35-inch Firestone tires, but I gotta tell you what, it's actually handling it pretty well. Having no issues taking the old lines, so now I'm going for much more difficult ones. This is a big ledge. There we go. That's up. Whew. And the final obstacle. Let's see what we can do. This has really actually improved the off-road capability a ton of the Jeep. Oh yes! So fun. So overall, I am just blown away. Next time, guys, we're gonna take this Jeep on some harder stuff. We're gonna air down the tires more and really push its limits to see what it takes to really max out this Wrangler. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this kind of longer video where we did the off-road before the install, and then of course the off-road video after the lift. It really did make a difference, at least to me driving, and I hope to you guys watching. Thanks so much. See you next time. If you want the stock suspension components off of a Wrangler JK Sport 2-door, be sure to send us an email at info@tflcar.com. It's yours if you come by our offices and pick it up.